Thank you, everyone. How do you do? Nice to see you. Listen to this. On November 18th, 2002. Any idea what happened November 18th, 2002? That's 9 years ago. We're coming up on almost exactly 9 years ago, September, October, November. I'll tell you what happened. We invited an entire small town in New York State, Schoharie, New York, to come to the studio, and we had put everybody in the audience. They were from Schoharie, and we went up there and we had videotape. Biff Henderson went and visited with people, and we turned the whole show became about Schoharie, and they became kind of our sister show, and the people were very nice, and it was a great deal of fun, and we met a lot of nice folks. Well, now that's one thing. Keep that in mind. Okay. About a month ago, Hurricane Irene. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah.
Well, Hurricane Irene came through, and as you know, did damage all along its storm path as it creeped up the eastern coast of the United States and came to New York City. And because we were mostly just interested in our own welfare, and all we really got here in New York City was a good soaking, trees uprooted. I think there were some casualties, and it was related to flooding. But by and large, here in New York City, we made out pretty well. And Mayor Bloomberg rode out the storm standing under his desk because he was just about like there.
I don't think that was called for.
And so as the hurricane passed, we all thought, oh, well, it wasn't, thank God, it wasn't, the ensuing damage was not as bad as we feared.
Yeah.
Then within a couple of days, we were starting to hear about damage upstate New York, damage in Vermont, and damage all over that turned out to be far more serious than the damage we endured here in New York City. And sure enough, a couple of weeks ago, we got a call from Mayor John Borst, who is the mayor of Schoharie. Let me show you. First of all, here's a Hurricane Irene to remind you what that is. Look at that. And if you could see a hurricane, that's exactly what they look like.
They're red like that?
Yes, they are red.
Like a big red stripe.
This was NASA provided us with this photograph. It was taken from deep space.
Deep space, yeah.
Yeah.
Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, and there it goes. And everybody along the route of that had their own difficulties, some worse than others. And like I said, here in New York City, all in all, not so bad. But now here's Schoharie, right up there. That's where Schoharie is. And like so many other small upstate communities and small communities in Vermont and other parts of New England, Schoharie endured a great deal of damage. And let me kind of run down the stuff that happened to them. First of all, Hurricane Irene, $10 billion in damages. $10 billion in damage. Yep. Up in Schoharie, $30 million in damages.
Wow.
Tiny town, $30 million. But when you talk about, roads being washed away and storefronts being knocked out and transportation and communication and phone lines and on, it adds up. 80%, listen to this, 80% of the village was under 4 to 8 feet of water. Yeah. Which, if I'm in that town council meeting, I say, well, I guess we don't have to raise money for the new pool. That's what I would say. 4 to 8 feet of water, and you can imagine what that would do because, what about the commerce? How do you get to work? Nobody's coming to town. Now listen to this. Relief from insurance and FEMA will not come close to covering the damages. And Schoharie, that wonderful little town 150 miles from New York City, is in desperate need of some kind of assistance now as winter approaches. I understand that this same story has been repeated over and over again as a result of the destruction of Hurricane Irene. We are mentioning this because of our special connection to this town. We heard from the mayor and also Assemblyman Pete Lopez. If you have friends, if you live in Schoharie, or if you would like to help, we're going to put up some things here on the deal, and you can check these out. This is the address for the Schoharie Recovery Fund right there. Also, we're going to give you information for the Schoharie County Community Action Program. These are probably going too quickly, so if you have one of those TiVo things, you can TiVo.
TiVo.
In fact, I'll just give you a second to TiVo. Okay, that's good. I mean, I think that's one of the problems. The storm up in Schoharie virtually knocked out their TiVo.
Knocked out.
And then the national support for Schoharie, Habitat for Humanity, our old friends at Habitat for Humanity. There's the address right there. And again, I mean, you think about earlier in the summer and the spring, the tornado destruction in Joplin and the tornado destruction in the southeast and specifically in Alabama. Absolutely, of course, we wish we could do something to help everybody. This is what we're doing right now to see if we can't provide a little bit of help for the folks in Schoharie, New York. And again, $30 million worth of damage. They need repairs. They're in desperate need of help before the winter comes. As I keep repeating, as we know, other cities who suffered damage are. So if you're so inclined, there you go, and good luck to the folks in Schoharie, New York. And I'm just going to say this right now because I know it's going to come up. Yes, I get a piece of these donations. It's just a handling fee.
Just a handling fee, small handling fee. Well, yeah.
Just for, mostly it's for postage.